and the current time is 7:03 p.m. Now, the question and answer portion of the hearing just ended, and if you had questions about this case, I hope you were able to get answers to those questions. Now we start the formal part of the hearing where you get to comment to the commission. Now, the Missouri Public Service Commission has set aside this time this evening for a local public hearing in file number EA-2025-0238, which is captioned as, in the matter of the application of Union Electric Company doing business as Ameren, Missouri, for permission and approval and certificates of convenience and necessity, authorizing it to construct a new generation facility and battery energy storage system. My name is John Clark. I'm the regulatory law judge presiding over this hearing this evening. Now, the Missouri Public Service Commission regulates the rates charged by investor-owned utilities in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The commission also regulates the quality of service and the safety of operations of investor-owned utilities. The commission is made up of 5 commissioners: the chair of the commission, Kayla Hahn, and commissioners Maida Coleman, Glenn Kolkmeyer, and John Mitchell. 1 commission seat is currently vacant. The commissioners are appointed by the governor to fixed terms and confirmed by the Senate. The commissioners employ a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. As I indicated with me, I believe all the commissioners are present tonight. Chair Hahn, would you like to make any opening remarks?
Of course. Thank you, Judge. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Hahn. I'm the chair of the commission. On behalf of the entire commission, just want to welcome you to this virtual local public hearing this evening. We look forward to hearing your comments on the proposal. And so with that, just thank you for giving your time this evening, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair Hahn. Now, as I indicated off the record, there's a court reporter here. That court reporter is transcribing this hearing so that the commissioners may review the testimony later. Now, I'm going to start by asking counsel to enter their appearance for the record, starting with Ameren, Missouri.
Good evening. This is Michael Tripp representing Ameren, Missouri. My address is 920 South Berry Road, Columbia, Missouri, 65203.
Thank you, Mr. Tripp. On behalf of the commission staff.
Judge, can you hear me?
I can, Mr. Graham. Go ahead.
Okay, having a little trouble getting on. Yes, this is Paul Graham. I am here for the legal staff of the Missouri Public Service Commission, and our offices are at 200 Madison Street in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Thank you very much, Mr. Graham. From the Office of the Public Counsel.
Good evening, Judge Clark. Lindsay Van Gerpen on behalf of the OPC, and we are also at 200 Madison Street in Jefferson City.
Thank you, Ms. Van Gerpen. Are there any interveners present?
Nicole Mers, Renew Missouri is on, and my information is in the record already.
Thank you, Ms. Mers.
This is Andrew Schulte with the Polsinelli Law Firm on behalf of Greenbelt Express. I am also online, and my information is in the record.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schulte. Are there any other interveners present? Okay, I hear none. Now, for those of you who would like to provide comments today, I'm going to call the name on my list in the order that I received them. When I call your name, please unmute. If you're participating via app, you can do that by pressing the unmute button at the bottom part of your screen. If you're participating by telephone, to unmute, you will need to dial *6. At that time, I'll place you under oath. I'll ask you to state and spell your name, and then you may offer your comments to the commission. Now, as of before the start of the Q&A, I had more than 50 names of people who have signed up to speak. And that's a very large number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit comments to 3 minutes per person. And I will let you know when 2 minutes is up and you have a minute remaining so that you can wrap up your thoughts. Also, if you, and I see people using the chat function. The chat function is not part of the record of this case. So bear that in mind, that nothing that appears in the chat will be preserved as part of this local public hearing. If you are offering comments, if you're getting up to offer comments to the commission, or if you're offering comments to the commission, and you realize that somebody before you had the same issue that they were addressing, if you want to streamline the process so I can get as many people in as possible, just let the commission know that you also have the same issue and feel the same about it as somebody else, and that might shorten it. Also, please, after you've made your comment, don't immediately mute yourself again, because I may have some questions to ask you. The attorneys may have some questions to ask you, or the commissioners may have some questions to ask you. If attorneys have questions, please let me know audibly. And if commissioners have questions, feel free to just go ahead and ask them at any time. Now, the commissioners will not be able to answer any of your questions today, and that's because the commissioners have to remain impartial until after the evidence is presented at the evidentiary hearing in this case. If you have questions about the case that weren't answered in the Q&A, please speak to representatives of Ameren, the commission staff, or the Office of the Public Counsel. I'm also going to ask that people be polite and courteous to each other and treat each other as they would like to be treated. With that in mind, I'm going to call the first name on my list, and that is Kent Pikey. Mr.
Judge,
Pikey.
it's Commissioner Mitchell joining.
Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. Is Kent Pikey here? Brenda O'Brien. Stacy Willoughby. And I'm going to say this is not unusual for virtual local public hearings. Sometimes people sign up and they don't actually end up attending. Allison Seaborn. Again, if you're participating by phone, you can unmute by dialing *6. Amy Lewis. Kara Weekly. Mika Lewis. Derek Scott. Vicky Harder. Gary Raddick. Dave Roberts. I see you, Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts, did you have comments you wanted to make? I circle back to that. Jeffrey Smith. Mike Howells. Angela Wilder.
Judges, Commissioner Kochmeyer, you're coming through loud and clear. So apparently they're not on or not getting through.
We've been receiving these names for a while. A lot of these people signed up days ago and may have decided that they had other things to do this evening. That is a possibility. Craig.
Okay.
Craig Desiato. And if I butcher your name, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can.
Okay.
Is that, did I say your name?
Everybody gets it wrong. It's Desiato.
Desiato. Well, thank you very much.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
And if you'll raise your right hand to be sworn, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you are about to give to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
I do.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
So I have some concerns about the costs. So this summer, just in the beginning, my electric bill went up by over $100 for no reason at all. And so I have some real concerns about the new one. What's to prevent somebody from just raising the price for no reason? I mean, I called up and I was told, well, it's summer rates. I never heard of that before. And so somebody on the call earlier mentioned winter rates are going to be enforced here shortly. And so my concern is that I'm paying for this and it's not even started yet. And when this does, if it does pass, you know, there's nothing to prevent somebody from passing the cost off to the consumer at any whim. I mean, they could just say, hey, we're going to raise the prices again. And so it's just a huge concern that I don't think this should move forward until that's um, uh, my wife's in the background. I'm sorry. Until that's addressed. I think the consumer should have an idea what the cost is going to be before moving forward. I mean, if they want to do behind the scenes and all that, it should not cost the consumer a penny until it's all approved by the consumer, because they're the ones that's going to have to pay anyway. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I appreciate that feedback. And
Is
so
that your
honestly, I think what's going to happen is nobody's going to care what the consumer is saying. Nobody's going to care what I'm saying. They're just going to move forward and do what they want. I mean, I was blindsided by this. If I didn't get an email 7 days ago, I would have never known this even took place. And so that's another concern, that
And
people are
you're
just trying to slide it
1
through.
minute left.
So, and then the other concern is that the things that they're doing. I mean, we're being charged for something that's being decommissioned, and we just heard it's already decommissioned. So why are we still paying? It all comes down to cost. I mean, it's how much people can afford. And with everything that's going on today, throwing an extra $100 or $150 onto a bill for no reason at all, just to call it summer rates, is ridiculous. And so here we are, at the end user, the end consumer, stuck with paying this additional money for nothing, just because somebody wanted more money, and now they want even more money to build this. I mean, it all
Okay,
comes down to us.
that's 3 minutes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your comments. While the commission can't answer questions because I indicated they have to remain impartial, I will tell you that the utility companies cannot just raise rates at their whim. The Public Service Commission does regulate the rates of investor-owned utilities. So if it is an investor-owned utility and they want to change rates, they have to get authorization from the commission.
Who do I reach out to for that? Because I'm just told it was summer rates and I have to just eat it.
Well, the commission, I believe the commission has a consumer services line, and that number is 1-800.
I called it. I spoke with them several times and I was told it's summer rates, deal with it, and got hung up on.
Was that the company that hung up on you, or was that the
The
public
company,
service?
Ameren. I called Ameren directly and they hung up on me.
Okay, the number I was giving you was the number for the PSC, the Public Service Commission
Okay,
and
hang on.
Consumer Services.
The number, can you repeat that, please?
I certainly can. It's 1-800-392-4211.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
We'll call that.
I'm sorry, somebody else?
Judge, this is Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Commissioner Coleman. We're glad you're here this evening.
Well, my question is to the caller that he received an email, and I would like to know if that was a general notification from friends or was that notification from the company? And if it was a notification from the company, did he get that information in the mail in his bill? If he could answer, please.
Craig, are you still there?
Yes, sir. Oh,
Commissioner Coleman asked you a question. Did you hear the question?
I'm here.
Did
So
you
I got an email.
go ahead? I apologize.
No, I received an email and I thought it was in return to the case that I opened up for the additional money. I didn't get any information in the mail about this. It was an email, and I don't know if somebody slipped up or what, but like I
Well,
said,
what's
I'm really concerned because I had no idea this was going to take place in
so,
advance.
so that's why I'm asking, what's in an email from the company?
Yeah, I'm really not sure if it came from the company or not. If you have time, or I can go ahead and look on my computer.
No, the only thing that I wanted clarification on that because I have been informed that usually utility companies do send notice of a hearing out in advance via your bill. And
I didn't get it in the bill. I'm sorry.
so I just wondered if you got it, the email from the company or from some other organization. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Commissioner. And as I indicated
I'm sorry
earlier,
I didn't have the number.
all commissioners are present. Moving on to the next person, Malin Canales. And again, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Malin Canales. Diedrich Martin. Diedrich Martin. Jeff Holm. Jeff Holm. Lionel Stovall. Lionel Stovall. Clyde James Verde. Clyde James Verde. Paul Adamek. Paul Adamek. Anna Farrar.
Anna Farrar.
Anna Farrar. Thank you
Yes.
for letting me, for correcting my pronunciation. And Ms. Farrar, would you spell your name for the record?
ANNA. Anna Farrar is FARRAR.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
Good evening, commissioners. Thank you for hosting us. My name is Anna Farrar. I am a resident of Warrenton, and my parents are adjacent landowners to Split Rail Solar, the Ameren Renewables facility south of Root Beer Substation in Warren County, Missouri. I bring that up because it is connected to the project this evening. The Big Hollow Battery Energy Storage System and simple cycle combustion turbines at the former Rush Island site should be evaluated only in full context with Ameren, Missouri's large load customer tariff and preferred resource plan. These filings, read together, describe a single acceleration strategy to supply unprecedented large load customers. Ameren's PRP testimony attributes resource acceleration to a surge of very large loads with signed construction agreements ramping as early as 2026 and fully ramped within 3 to 5 years, this requiring dispatchable generation and storage to serve them readily. The Big Hollow docket confirms this linkage. In its direct testimony, Ameren states that the project will contribute to protecting our customers from the tightness we have seen in the MISO market and take advantage of Rush Island's valuable interconnection rights by putting the Big Hollow project in service by September 2028. Ameren can add dispatchable capacity without the additional cost or risk associated with entering the MISO large generator interconnection queue. That comes from direct testimony of Andrew Meyer. And that language shows that Big Hollow is not an isolated reliability upgrade. It is timed infrastructure to absorb the new 100 megawatt plus loads while avoiding interconnection delays.
And you have 1
In
minute left.
Ajay Arora's direct testimony, Ameren explicitly ties these projects to customers with significant new large loads and acknowledges executed construction agreements, contracts whose cost recovery and risk allocation are still being adjudicated under that large load tariff case. Because Split Rail Solar and Root Beer Substation are the primary renewable and transmission assets positioned along the I-70 corridor to serve those same large load interconnections, approving Big Hollow now effectively predetermines the network capacity that enables those private contracts. So I therefore respectfully urge the Commission to defer approval of Big Hollow until the large load customer tariff is finalized and its cost allocation safeguards are public, or condition approval to state explicitly that the plant may operate only as a reliability and grid stabilization asset, but not as preemptive infrastructure for unapproved private load commitments. Reliability investments must serve the public, not backfill contractual obligations to undisclosed hyperscale customers.
Okay,
In
3 minutes.
conclusion,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, approving the Big Hollow Creek facility today before the tariff and its cost allocation safeguards are finalized would amount to pre-approval of these private interconnection agreements and the infrastructure built to serve them.
Thank you very much, Ms. Farrar. Those comments were very organized. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Robert Merrick? Is there a Robert Merrick? Adam Belinsky? Adam Belinsky? Steve Sambo? Clive Verdi? I feel like I have that name. Yep. Sorry, it looks like I have that name twice. Rebecca Red? Rebecca Red? Matthew Westerhyde? Matthew Westerhyde? Magdalena Reyes?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Did I say your name correctly?
Yeah, you did. I appreciate that. So my name is Magdalena STL on TikTok, but in
Hold on
real
just a
life,
second. Hold on just a second.
Oh,
Would
yeah,
you
you gotta
please
swear me.
spell your name? Would you please spell your name for the court reporter and then I will swear you in?
Yeah, my full legal name is Maria Magdalena, so it's Maria Magdalena, and my full legal last name is Lopez Reyes, Lopezreyes.
Thank you. Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
My name is Magdalena STL on TikTok, but in real life, I work with solar. Ameren, all of Missouri does not want and cannot afford this gas plant or the data center that needs this gas plant. Local businesses are struggling. Missouri families are choosing food versus an electric bill. I went to a private of Ameren event, and before your Karen employee figured out who I was, I asked who will pay for this gas plant. The question was obviously dodged. Allegedly, every Ameren customer will pay for it. Ameren, you are a monopoly. You own the grid. As heard in the Q&A, they plan to raise that price. Stop saying Missouri won't pay when we will. The ozone in Jefferson County and all of St. Louis is labeled by the EPA as serious. This plant will create smog and make our air dirtier. If you or your child have asthma, expect it to get worse. I want you to retire that coal plant, don't get me wrong, but replace it with 100% real clean energy, solar. Take the billions you plan to collect from Missourians and buy land in the places that you call the hood and put solar on it. Work with us. If you're going to use our money, then take it, but make Missouri greener and protect our children and their future. Shame on you, Ameren, for calling a gas plant green energy. Shame on anyone taking commission on this deal. And the let them eat cake mentality stops here. A movement is building. Y que viva la revolución. Thank you.
Ms. Reyes, thank you for your comments. Teresa Galucci? Teresa Galucci? Keith Fear? Keith Fear. Like I said, if you're participating by phone and you are having difficulty unmuting yourself, it is *6. Brandy Liskey?
Hello,
Brandy,
this is, can you hear me?
I can.
I'm not Brandy. My name is actually Rebecca Red, and I was having trouble unmuting myself when you called my name. Is it okay if I have a turn?
Absolutely, Miss.
Thank you.
Rebecca
Red.
Okay, would you spell your name for the court reporter?
Rebecca Redd.
And if you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm reading a news article from News 4 that Ameren, Missouri was ordered by a court to spend $61 million on projects tied to mitigation around violations of the Clean Air Act at the Rush Island Power Plant near Festus. So this was just in December, and now Ameren wants to build a new power plant and charge the consumers in advance for it. It really seems kind of fishy, like we're paying for their court-ordered fines and their mitigation. I don't think it's fair to charge residential consumers for a new plant to be built, and I don't think that it's environmentally smart when the EPA said that Ameren had 14 years of unpermitted excess emissions of sulfur dioxide. And this causes health issues, lung disease, heart disease, premature death in our communities. So how can residents be assured that Ameren isn't just going to build another toxic plant using our money that they're supposed to be reinvesting back to the people for the damage they've already caused?
Great. Ms. Red, thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
Brandy Liskey? Brandy Liskey. Duran Collins Bay? Duran Collins Bay. Eddie Hammett? Eddie Hammett? Natanya Martin? Natanya Martin. Paul Dombrowski? Paul Dombrowski? Jesse Doggendorf? Jesse Doggendorf? Rebecca Hyatt? Rebecca Hyatt? Jenny Loomis?
Here.
Miss Loomis, would you please spell your name for the court reporter?
Sure. It is Jenny, Jennie, and then Loomis, Loom, like Mary, IS like Sam.
And if you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening, Ms. Loomis?
Good evening. First, I would like to say that I think it's really important that we have a strong grid and a diverse grid to protect our power. We've seen how that goes awry in places like Texas when they're not update and modernize their systems and especially diversify them in renewable resources. So I understand the importance of updates. However, I would urge this committee not to approve this grant, not to move it forward. Without clear public guidelines for cost and individual customers and or to the taxpayers in general. During the prior question session, the representative for Ameren could not even give a range of potential price increase. And the only people who have any idea what that might look like are the stakeholders in Ameren and the PSC, neither of whom has citizen interests as a primary motivation. What we know about this Public Service Commission, to my understanding, is that they're the ones who approve any rate increases and plant development, but they're appointed by the governor, who receives huge campaign contributions from Ameren. So it's kind of an incestuous relationship without anybody who's really there as an advocate for the people. We're looking at these accelerated plans, and as Ms. Farr indicated earlier, they seem to be primarily to benefit or exclusively to benefit the expectation and hope for AI data centers. And I think, as many people do, that these data centers and these mass building projects are experiencing a bubble right now. AI data centers is not something that people want or need as a population. And these huge data centers come at a gigantic environmental cost. They suck all the water out of the ground, raise everyone's electric rates, crater our home values, make the air dirtier. And on top of that, the AI is currently, and it's not a sustainable business pattern. Every time someone uses ChatGPT, it seems to cost about $5. And their business model currently is so financially like insolvent that they're pivoting towards primarily producing pornographic content. So I think it's short-sighted to speed up a build during a bubble for a product that nobody wants except tech companies and electric companies in order to let AI make porn. I think that's insane as a use of our resources.
1 minute left.
Thank you. Especially as it's going to crater our home values and suck the water out of the ground. The gentleman from Ameren continues to say that currently the projected build will not increase rates until 2028 or 2029, as if that is supposed to offer us comfort. What is clear is that even as energy production becomes more efficient, Ameren and the PSC will continue to raise rates and build facilities primarily meant to benefit big tech with little or no regard to environmental protection, home values, or price increases to customers. And I urge you to vote no.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Loomis. It was very well organized as well. I appreciate your comments. William Ruffley or Rowley? William Rowley? Sarah Skidmore? Sarah Skidmore? Lisa Gavreau? Lisa Gavreau? Barbara Bossert? Barbara Bossert? Carl Bossert? Carl Bossert? Melinda and Daniel Donges? Melinda and Daniel Donges? Larry Sutton?
Can you hear me?
I
Right
certainly
here.
can.
Can you hear me?
I can. Is this
All
Mr.
right.
Sutton?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Would
Judge.
you spell your name for the court reporter?
My name is Larry Don Sutton Jr., Larry, Don, Don, Sutton, Sutton. That's a junior.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you are about to offer to the commission of this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
You know, we can see what's happening all over the country. We don't live in a bubble. And, you know, we can see what's happened globally as well. Ameren for the last 50 years, instead of investing in the grid and putting power lines below the ground and doing all those things that other countries that are moving into the future do with their, infrastructure, they paid out their shareholders instead. Now they want to put this dirty fossil fuel plant here in Festus. I don't know if any of you have been to Festus. It's a nice place. People see you go down Main Street, people say hi to you. It's a nice town. We can see the writing on the wall. In 10 years, those houses are going to be worth nothing. Nobody's going to want to live in Festus. And so this plant serves nobody that the stakeholders of the community, this is for the AI data centers that come in, and like Miss Loomis said, that all they're good at is making porn. We don't want that here. Nobody wants these in their communities. All we have to do is look at West Memphis. Those people are having respiratory problems. Their homes are worth nothing. And this is everywhere. People in St. Charles didn't want it. They didn't want it in the Armory. Let's go put this thing in Town and Country or Ladue and see how it flies. But I just don't think our lives matter anymore in this country. America is like a stolen car in a chop shop being sold off for spare parts. Water rights, forests don't matter no more. This happens with any fallen empire, whether it's the USSR, whether it's any fallen empire. They come in, the oligarchs, the billionaires buy everything up and then offload the costs onto the working class. America, as we knew it, is done with. And I think we all have to look in the mirror one day and ask ourselves, did we do our part, or did we stand up for money, or did we stand up for the citizens of this country? And, I live in Arnold, so, I'm on the other side of the county, but I don't want to see this happen to the people of Festus. I don't want to see a dirty plant. This is not investing in the future. This is not renewables. They're selling this to us, and they're doing this, almost under the cover of darkness by the light of the moon. Suitcases of money under tables kind of action. This just doesn't seem right. There's nobody in Festus that's cheering this on, that's happy about it. And if you lived in that community as somebody on this panel, you wouldn't want it in your town either. And that's all I really have to say. I mean, what can we do? Other than fight this with words to a commission that's appointed by the governor, who took $400,000. So I mean, who's on our side? Other than if we band together, and that's all we can really do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sutton. I appreciate your comments. I got very caught up in what you were saying and forgot to tell you had 1 minute left.
But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bree Girl. Bree Girl. Peter West. Peter West. Jidong Z. Jidong Z.
Hello, can you hear me, Mr. Judge?
I can. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes, you all did. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you please spell your name for the court reporter?
Yes, my first name spelling is Zhidong. My last name spelling is Xie.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly
Yes.
swear? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
Mr. Z, go ahead.
Yes. I also share the concern that Mr. Craig D. Seattle mentioned earlier and other callers about the cost to the consumer and the impact to environment. So although we need energy and although AI may do good things, but we have to balance the need for also other factors of society, such as environment, such as the public. And Ameren, being a utility, is serving the public interest, so it should carry the public interest as its first priority. So in this hearing, I did get an email from Ameren, but I was not sure what that topic is about. So I will say in the future, things like this, they should send us a PDF or something, some document about what this is, and really write up some of the pros and cons so that we can make informed choice. Because like a 1 hour answering question section, there's many facts that we don't know, many data information we don't know, so we couldn't really make a very good informed decisions, and especially things like this sort that have potential for the environment and then have AI, have data center, all sort of things that I don't like it being like rushed. So at this point, I would say probably no for this proposal. So, but if you want to get us support, give us the facts, and we should be, again, the public should be the first stakeholder to Ameren, which is public utility service. So that's all my comment. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I got a quick question for you, Mr. Z, if you'll stay on. You said you received an email from Ameren?
Yes, I did.
And that was about this local public hearing?
Yes, it pointed to a website. And then from that website, I got the information to call in and send an email.
Okay. You indicated that there wasn't information on what this case was about in the email you received. Is that correct?
There's several words called Big Hollow Energy Center, and that's all it in the title of the email. But such a short piece of information, I have no idea what it is and what are the pros, what's the cons, what's involved, and what's all these things related to it. How can we make decision? So in the website, they did just say that Ameren requested permission from the Missouri Public Service Commission to build a natural gas and battery storage facility in Jefferson City. So there's some information there, but again, without the real data, the information and the pros and cons analysis. And again, so this hearing, I think, so let's say we have 95 people on the call, but it affects a lot more people. So I feel like this is a little bit rushed to make a decision in 1 hour without the written documentation and everything.
So you
And
would like to see more information in advance of a local public hearing, is that correct?
Right. And again, AI using too much energy, maybe that is a concern. I don't know whether there's a fact or not, but it looks like based on the previous people saying, and that could be a fact, then we should be a little bit more careful to use our energy wisely. So if it does not serve very good utility, then probably it's not a good idea. But you know, without the detail, I wouldn't say for sure.
Well, thank you for your comments, Mr. Z. I appreciate them, and it's good to know about the email.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Mary Winslow? Is there Mary Winslow? Mark Hake? Tricia?
Hello, Judge.
Yes,
This
sir.
is Mark Hake.
Okay, Mr. Hake, would you please spell your name for the court reporter?
Sweet, thank you. How you doing tonight? My name's Mark. Mark Hake, M-A-R-K. Last name Hake, H-A-K-E.
And will you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
And Mr. Hake, what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
Okay. My email said nothing about what you guys are talking about. I'm talking about the Castle Bluff route. It's where anyway, at this point, a guy's contacted me a few times, and at this point, I feel I haven't got any truthful or accurate plans on the project. The project consists of Ameren wants to run a 20-inch natural gas line in right along the Ameren UE's easement. It's just outside of it, so they want a easement from me in the back of my home. And to me, it sounds kind of dangerous having a 20-inch main going through your backside of your property.
Mr. Hake, is this in relation to the gas turbine generator that Ameren wants to build, or the battery storage system, or is this something else? Because I mean, you're talking about a natural gas line, and while this is a gas generation plant, this is an electrical case.
This is about the one that's going down to the Merrimack plant at what is it? It's over in Oakville, Missouri, which is at the end of basically where the Merrimack dumps into the Mississippi.
Okay, I'm unfamiliar with that case. It's obviously not mine, so it may
So they
be.
sent me to the wrong one.
But, did you have comments that you wanted to offer on Ameren's desire to build these two generation and storage facilities?
Nope.
Okay, well, thank you for your comments, Mr. Hake. I'm sorry that that this is not the the hearing that you were hoping it would be.
Well, why would they send me an email then?
I think they send emails to all customers who are within a certain area that want to come to the hearing. So, or
And they're gonna, I guess they'll contact us when they have their hearing.
I'm sorry?
Well, anyway, thank you. Thank
you,
you. I
Mr.
guess I
Harris.
got the wrong one.
Tricia Mactimus. Tricia Mactimus. Zachariah Dumas.
Yep, I'm here.
And would you spell your name for the court reporter?
Yes, it's ZACHARIAHDUMAS.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you are about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and what would you like to tell us?
Kind of, I guess, reflecting on Zidong Ji's comments as well. I think a lot of what he said reflects my concerns as well. Some of my specific concerns are around the environmental impacts of any construction on the waterway. You can Google the site for and I guess also to back up with what Zidong Ji was saying, it did take a lot of digging on the Ameren site and on the internet in general to find any plans or articles specifically speaking to the construction or utilization. I found them, but it was like it took effort to find it. But you can Google Maps the Rush Tower site or the Big Hollow site, and you'll find it just right off of Big Hollow Road. I live in the direct area of this. I spend a lot of time in that the Harry Truman Park River access area. So it does, I guess, affect me and several other people that I care about in the community for any construction being done here. But when you Google Maps it, the facility's within 100 feet of Mississippi River proper. So it's in a high impact area if there was any significant flooding or other weather events that we've seen kind of escalate across the country and the surrounding area. So although it might be 1,000-year flood that we're talking about that would affect the Ameren site, those events are more and more common across the country. And so it's just a major concern to have any type of infrastructure placed on a retired site. And then the representative from Ameren was also talking about upgrades to the site going to 1,000 megawatts in the future. So to have upgrades on a site that's already in a high environmental impact zone, using language as a layman, and in my opinion, it wouldn't be smart to put a major facility within such a like we don't know what's going to happen with that site. We don't know how the Mississippi River is going to act. We can only account for its most extreme, and so it doesn't seem reasonable to put a high energy site that we would need on a place that kind of doesn't make sense if we're looking at impact on the river.
We have 1 minute left.
I think that's all I have.
Thank you for your comments.
Judge, I did have a question for Mr. Dumas.
Mr. Tripp, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Dumas, I think I saw earlier you put in the chat that you did actually get a notice with your in a billing cycle of the hearing. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if it was on the billing cycle. I tried to edit that part out, but I did get an email on October 17th. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all I was asking about. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dumas, thank you for your comments this evening. Michael Berger. Michael Berger. Okay, we're in an unusual situation that I did not expect to be in tonight with more than 50 names on a list. But at this point, I have gone through all the names. If you were here and you had signed up and you came in late and I maybe missed or did not hear me call your name, if you would let me know now, I would be happy to let you offer comments to the commission. I see a bunch of people in the chat that are saying they signed up. What I'm going to do, hold on just a moment. Okay, I have a few more people on a list, and you may have signed up at while you were there or before the Q&A session. Cindy Gross, is there a Cindy Gross?
Yes, I'm here.
Ms. Gross, would you please spell your name for the court reporter?
CINDYGROSS.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
I do.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. So my name is Cindy Gross, and I'm a grandmother of 5 young ones here in St. Louis. I also serve as the chair of the Green Team at my church. I feel a calling to care for the gift of creation and to work for a livable climate for my neighbors, as well as my children and grandchildren. I was very happy to see Ameren close the Rush Island coal plant as it was polluting our air. However, I am very unhappy to hear that they want to replace it with another fossil fuel, methane gas. Methane emissions trap considerably more heat than carbon dioxide, and we need to be drawing down sources of methane, not expanding its use. Methane gas prices are also extremely volatile and depend on global politics. It seems to me a much better option for this site would be solar power, which is cheaper and cleaner, better for the environment. I'm glad to hear that they are considering a battery energy storage facility as part of the plan for this site. But I certainly hope that Ameren and the PSC will consider cleaner, safer, and more reliable options for this site, such as solar, thus benefiting our St. Louis community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Gross. Elise Schaefer? Elise Schaefer?
Hello.
Yes, Ms. Schaefer. Would you please spell your name for the court reporter?
Absolutely. It's Elyse, last name Schaeffer.
And Ms. Schaefer, would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes, I do.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening, Ms. Schaefer?
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, commissioners, for the time to speak on this issue. I want to first say I'm very disappointed that the commission did not heed requests to hold an in-person hearing on this matter, but I am grateful nonetheless that we were able to weigh in on the future of our health, safety, and environment in this format. My name is Elyse Schaefer, and I'm testifying on behalf of Missouri Coalition for the Environment. MCE is a nonprofit, nonpartisan advocacy organization that seeks to empower Missourians to protect their environment and their health. The methane gas, or natural gas, component of Ameren's proposed Big Hollow energy facility will be detrimental to the health, environment, and wallets of Missourians. For these reasons, I urge the Public Service Commission to vote no on this proposal. Ameren says this project is necessary for reliability, affordability, and sustainability. In reality, it supports none of these goals. Methane gas reliability is not assured. The gas has to be transported into the state through leaky pipelines and often from politically volatile places. In 2021, failure of a methane gas infrastructure led to the tragic loss of hundreds of lives in Texas. Methane gas is not an affordable option for ratepayers either. Between June of 2020 and August of 2022, for example, the cost of the gas spiked by nearly 20%. Further, the 2025 Lazard Levelized Cost of Energy reports construction time for new gas plants at 24 months, double the time needed to build an equivalent utility scale solar project, or 4 times as long as building community or residential rooftop solar. And that's if Ameren isn't delayed by the 5 to 7 year wait time manufacturers are now estimating for new gas turbine production. Including construction costs, utility scale solar is $78 per megawatt hour, just 31% of the $251 per megawatt hour a gas peaking plant like the one proposed in this case would cost. Finally, methane gas is not a sustainable energy source. Methane gas is often fracked, which harms water quality and releases hazardous pollutants like VOCs and nitrous oxides. Burning gases releases similar pollutants. The pollutants can cause childhood cancer, birth defects, and respiratory issues. Methane gas releases toxic pollutants when burned as well, including VOCs, carbon dioxide, and primarily methane, which, as noted, traps 82.5 times more heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide. The methane gas component of Big Hollow will exacerbate the ongoing public health and racial injustices of global warming, including more extreme heat, heat waves, drought, tornadoes, and flooding. Heat already kills more Americans every year than any other natural disaster, and adding more methane to the atmosphere will not help. Solar and wind, on the other hand, do not produce any greenhouse gases and do not create any air pollution when used. Instead of burning deadly methane gas, Ameren should be investing in the more reliable, more cost-effective, zero-carbon solution, renewable energy. The proposed Big Hollow project is not a sound step toward reliability, affordability, or sustainability, and as such, I respectfully urge the PSC to vote no on this proposal. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Shaver. I appreciate your comments. They were succinct and on point for what you were discussing. Mahala Pittman?
Mahala, this is she.
Sorry, I mispronounced your name, Mahala. Would you
Okay.
please spell your name for the court reporter?
Yep, Mahala. Last name Pittman, Pittman.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you are about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
My name is Mahala Pittman, and I am the Sierra Club Missouri Chapter Regional Field Organizer for the St. Louis region. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak at today's public hearing. I firmly oppose a gas plant to be built at the former Rush Island site. Not only is methane gas dangerous and expensive, but this plant is slated to power large load customers, such as data centers, which have been highly controversial to the communities in which they are sited due to their many harmful environmental impacts and extensive costs to communities. I spent my entire childhood in Festus, Missouri, which is just miles from the former Rush Island coal site. I always loved my little hometown, passing fields of horses on the way to middle school or picking out pumpkins at Richard's produce stand, riding my bike to Dollar General to get my mom's sweet tea, riding back to the house I spent my entire childhood in, never once moving, the home my single mother still lives in today, she who would be impacted by this, and myself. Looking back at the illegal levels of sulfur dioxide we now know were being emitted from the Rush Island coal plant from the time I was just 7 years old, I wonder about the quality of the air I was breathing all those years as I played outside with my friends. Now, here we are, and at the exact site where Ameren made illegal modifications to a coal plant, failing to install pollution controls and violating the Clean Air Act for more than a decade, they want to build a gas-fired power plant to power large load customers such as data centers. We are made to believe this, quote, natural gas is better for us. The truth is, this methane gas is no cleaner than the dirty coal that continues to make Labadie the second highest emitting coal plant in this nation. The term natural gas refers to methane gas, which traps over 82.5 times more heat than carbon dioxide emissions. To insinuate that methane gas is anything but dangerous, expensive, and volatile is irresponsible and misleading.
You have 1 minute
It is
left.
unconscionable that Ameren would pursue this path when my community has only recently received acknowledgement of years of deadly illegal air pollution. Now we are expected to hold the burden of data centers. The electricity demand caused by data centers is delaying coal plant retirements, causing utilities to propose new gas-burning power plants, and resulting in the development of hundreds of backup diesel generators, resulting in more air pollution on top of skyrocketing electric rates. In addition to their extravagant power usage, data centers also use massive amounts of water and cause severe noise pollution. Festus deserves better. Festus, Missouri is my hometown. It's my community. I plead with you. Do not allow Ameren to continue to build out more fossil fuels. Do not allow Ameren to continue pursuing profits over the health and safety of their consumers, and instead force them to go back to the drawing board and start investing in the clean energy our planet and communities so desperately need. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Pittman. Claire Mueller. Claire Mueller.
I'm here.
Would you please spell your name for the court reporter, Ms. Mueller?
First, Claire, last Mueller.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
I do.
Please go ahead.
My name is Claire Mueller. I'm speaking as a private citizen. First, I am consistently disappointed in the PSC and Ameren for doing such a poor job of publicizing these meetings. Then, even when there is turnout and opposition, the PSC seems to just let utilities do whatever they like. It feels like a facade and does not make sense. I'm an Ameren customer. I did not receive an email about this. I'm very plugged into the environmental space and want to thank the Missouri Coalition for the Environment. They are the only reason I knew this was happening. The PSC and Ameren are not doing their due diligence. Important context to ground us in that I have not heard mentioned yet, but on March 13th of 2025, SB 4 went through and allowed the Missouri Public Service Commission authority to allow customers to be charged for building new electric generating plants. That's called a construction work in progress, CWIP, and was banned since 1976 when consumers were worried about the cost of nuclear. I believe that started with the Callaway nuclear plant. Let's be clear, that gave the PSC full ability to make us, the end users, pay for Ameren's needs instead of having Ameren utilize their dividends that are paid to shareholders, i.e. making the rich richer while making us sicker. This is unethical. The PSC needs to step in and do their job. Additionally, methane gas is bad for the environment. Reminding everyone, when we say natural gas, that means fossil fuels. That is a marketing term to make this sound cleaner. We are using fossil fuels here. Methane are fossil fuels, and they trap CO2 and increase climate degradation. It is expensive, and unreliable. There are better options for the environment, for the economy. Renewable energy, particularly solar and wind, are more reliable, particularly combined with battery storage. But methane is a limited resource. It is not good for our health. This is damaging our communities. What will it take for the PSC to hear from us that we are opposed to this? This has to stop.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Mueller. Kelsey McDonald. Kelsey McDonald.
Yes, spelled Kellsy, last name MacDonald, MacDonald.
And if you'll raise your right hand to be sworn, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking public comments on this upcoming project. I don't want to see this gas plant built. I don't trust Ameren to make decisions to positively support the community if there is an opportunity to increase profitability. Ameren lobbied for SB 4 and funded the government's campaign with our tax dollars, as well as stakeholders who also could have been supporting the residents instead. The bill passed, and now suddenly we need to have gas power plants to stay compliant for 80% dispatchable resources. This gas plant is being proposed on a site with plenty of historical significance to Ameren's regards for regulation. Remember when Ameren installed upgrades without pollution controls back in 2007 and only just shuttered the facility? I can't help but be skeptical about consumer and environmental protections Ameren will provide for the community when they argue that their pollution would have been rectified just by closing the plant and is only offering financial assistance after court orders to these residents. This plant emits methane, which we know traps more heat than carbon dioxide. The transportation and handling of the gas is also impossible to control completely.
You cut out there, Ms.
So we know there will be included in this project. This is an area that has been battling tooth and nail for environmental justice from the same company for decades. This project is supporting the ability to attract additional large food customers and driving economics in the state, but these facilities only benefit us by increasing tax dollars, which any development can do. Residents will be paying most of these construction costs based on the flimsy answer provided during the Q&A and SB4. I also have concerns about the increasing costs throughout the lifespan of the project, as the energy produced is dependent on the price of the gas, which is only projected to go up for the foreseeable future. I fear that we will spend tons of money on a project that only consumes more and more during its lifespan until we can retire it before end of life for true green energy. I am in support of the BEST project, though, as I believe this will help residents to have stability and help propel renewable energy resources in the future. So I'd much rather see a proposal for all BEST in conjunction with policy to further reduce our energy waste instead of adding in more pollutants and more gas for the site. That's all I have today.
Ms. McDonald, and just so that I'm clear, you're in support of the battery storage facility, but not the gas generator. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
Jenny Lomas?
I already went. It's got me on there.
I thought so. I saw. That's what I was looking over my list to see. That felt familiar. Thank you, Ms. Lomas. John Kintry. John Kintry? Okay, hold on just a second. Let's see if. All right, I have. It's the same. At this time, is there anybody else who would like to offer comments to the commission that did not sign up? If you would just unmute yourself and let me know, I would be happy to take your comments. Okay.
Can anybody hear
I'm
me?
sorry. Maisha Johnson here.
Maisha Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson, would you please spell your name for the court reporter?
MYISHAJOHNSON.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
I do.
And what would you like to tell the commission this evening?
As a resident and living in St. Louis, we know that there's already an experience of high cancerous issues, high lung issues, and other respiratory issues that people face in the Black and Brown communities. Often it's the space that we live in, right? We can't even go outside or be in our home and be able to breathe at a normal capacity because the ventilation
Would
and
affect
the
St.
air.
Louis.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
The air that we breathe. So we know after hearing what everyone has to say that it's not going to get better for us, and that there isn't really anything that's keeping us from breathing it from the east side of the river, and now it's going to be coming from the west side of the river. And I mean, how much more can we take? We know that people are losing their Medicaid. People are going to be starving. People are going to be outside more because they might lose their housing. There's a lot at risk for those who don't have the funds or the means to meet their daily needs. And we know that in certain spaces, if they can't keep up with their utility bill, that they're going to be out in these streets. And that's a crime. So how are we supposed to survive and live after all of these things that is new to everything that's being changed on the way that we live? The ones that are making these decisions won't be as impacted as we are, because you guys can afford the changes that is to come for all of us. And we're the ones paying for it. And most of the people in my community are barely making rent. They're barely able to feed their children. They're barely even to show their children the things outside of what the change is. Like, they're starving. The kids are starving, you guys. They're losing their homes, and they're playing with the education as well. So to know that the air that they're going to be breathing will also impact them, what do they have to look forward to? And how do you guys plan to protect us if this goes through? Is there a plan to protect us? Is
As
there
I
a plan
indicated,
to?
Ms. Johnson, the commission can't answer questions this evening.
Yeah, so there needs to be a plan to protect us. There needs to be a plan for the medical issues that's going to accumulate after all of this starts taking place. So as a St. Louis resident, I ask that you take us into consideration. Thank
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. I have one question for you. You had, at some point you said with all this new coming, I believe, or something like that. When you said new, were you referring to AI, or were you referring to the
AI,
facilities?
regulations, policies, things that's changing.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me, Ms. Johnson. And thank you for your comments.
You're welcome.
Is there anybody else who would like to offer comments to the commission this evening? If so, please just unmute and let me know who you are.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. What is your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Rich Cobalt.
Rich Cobalt.
Rich Koboldt.
And would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you are about to give to the commission at this local public hearing are the truth?
Yes.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay, my wife received an email from Ameren 14 days ago talking about the AI facility that's going to be built or possibly be built on Highway P down in Jefferson County. I live near this area. My comment is I'm concerned about the water usage. A lot of people out here are on wells, and all the bedrock slopes down towards Joachim Creek near this proposed plant. If it uses well water to pull the resources in, everybody upstream from this plant is going to lose their well water. They'll run dry. Another concern I have is the noise pollution it's going to create. There was a PBS special on television talking about a data center in New Mexico where local residents ended up having all kinds of health issues and their pets, losing hair, fatigue, anxiety, you name it. And I'm wondering how that is going to affect residents down here. There's a new subdivision going in less than a mile away, just east of this facility. I'm on the west side, about 3 miles away, and I have heard that there's two different frequencies that are emitted from these sites, a low and a high frequency. The low frequency will transmit for miles, and that's a big concern because out here it's very quiet, and most of the land around here is residential. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cobalt. Is there anybody else who would like to offer comments this evening?
Mary Beth. Yes, Mary Beth. Is
Mary
there
Beth?
any way that, yes.
Hold on just a second. Can you spell your name for the court reporter? And then I will swear you in.
Mary. Beth.
And Ms. Beth, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to offer to the commission this evening are the truth?
Yes, I do.
And Mr. Cobalt, you're still unmuted. If you could mute yourself, I would appreciate it. Go ahead, Mary Beth.
Okay. I really agree with everybody who was against it. I'm against it. I really didn't know what it was about when I first was on the call at the beginning. But I know a little bit more about it. Anyway, I want to know if there's any way to stop what Ameren wants to do by getting a certain number of signatures from
Again, the
consumers.
commission can't answer questions, and I honestly don't know the answer to your question. So I'm sorry
Okay,
there, Ms. Beth.
thank you.
Did you have other comments?
No.
Well, thank you for your comments. Is there anybody else who would like to comment to the commission?
This is
Okay.
John Kintry.
Oh, Mr. Kintry, I called you earlier.
Judd, I
Would you
had
spell
difficulty unmuting.
well, that I'm happy.
JOHN as in Nancy, T as in Tom, REE.
And Mr. Kintry, if you'll raise your right hand to be sworn, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comment you're about to give to the commission that this local public hearing of the truth?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
I'm an Ameren customer in St. Louis County, and I like the idea of utility scale batteries installed at Rush Island. I think that a new natural gas powered plant is shameful, and think Ameren should be required in its proposals to include discussion of the social cost of carbon. What is the cost of increasing the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere? For my personal lifestyle, I use the amount of $200 per ton of carbon dioxide. Beyond the monetary amount, coral reefs around the world are dying. Hurricanes are intensifying more quickly. I saw hail in my front yard after it hit the roof of my house earlier this year that was larger than any other hail that I've seen before. I'm 71 years old. I have an all-electric house. My power was out for about 7 hours last week from Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning. Earlier this year, it was out for about 36 hours, about when the tornado came through the city. So electricity is essential. With respect to the data centers, I've been testing language models on my smartphone, and I've read that running small language models on smartphones uses 1/10, just 10% of the electricity used with large language models running in data centers. And I'm testing the language models for speed. The latency is good running on my smartphone. This one language model could identify the nouns, rain, Spain, and plane. When I asked it to identify the nouns in the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. Language models can be used on smartphones to help build knowledge graphs and shared knowledge graphs. We swore to tell the truth. Fossil fuel companies have been lying about climate change. The president of the United States just said it's a con job. Those are lies. We need to be able to build shared knowledge graphs that are fact checked and trustworthy if democracy is going to work. And that's what I want to use language models running on my smartphone is to help build a platform for digital democracy so we can vote directly on principles and policies instead of politicians and political parties. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a vision of the world I want to live in.
Thank you, Mr. Kintree. That was very passionate. Is there anybody else who would like to speak and offer comments to the commission this evening? I'd like to thank all of our participants who showed up today to testify. If you are unable to provide testimony today, or if you get home and you're talking to friends or neighbors and they wanted to offer comments to the commission, local public hearings are not the only place to do that. You can also make written comments by contacting the email address pscinfo@psc.mo.gov. I'll say that again since I messed it up. pscinfo@psc.mo.gov, by contacting the Office of the Public Counsel that has been very gracious about helping people get comments to us, or by going to the PSC's webpage, and there is a link for a place to leave comments. If you are going to leave written comments, you will need to know the case number for this case, and the case number for this is EA-2025-0238. Chair Han, would you like to make any closing remarks?
Of course. Thank you, Judge. Just want to thank folks for staying on the line. I know we're getting, into the evening now, to give us your feedback. We know you have a lot of demands on your time, and it is really, really helpful to hear from the public. So just want to say that we appreciate your feedback, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you for attending the hearing. And with that, we will go off the record and I will adjourn this local public hearing.
Thank you, Judge.